Aloha. Sorry it took so long to get this video done for you. I'm not complaining about having so many clients. But this is Rick Kirkham of busybusinesspromotions.com, and today I'm going to look at starlitjournals.com. So the author has an interesting idea, and as I understand, he wrote this program himself. He or she, I don't know which, I'm sorry. And I want to help out a little bit with SEO and with sales. And let's start out just a little bit by looking at this. So let's do, I'm a firm believer that if I'm going to try to rank on Google, then I want to use Google. Makes sense? If I had the marketing department of all of these third-party vanity metric sites, then maybe I'd be thinking differently, but I don't, and this is what I believe. So if I just do site colon with no space and then the URL, this tells me everything that Starlit Journals has had indexed by Google so far. Everyone I know is doing something. That looks interesting. This is the weirdest one I read right here. But I'm glad that people can put stuff in. But that's all we have. That's the only indexing there is. And I believe part of that, and I don't know if people have to log in order to read these, so they're being hidden from Google. But if people are allowed to read these, then what needs to happen is you need these linked on your home page somehow. It doesn't have to be every single article link. You just need a link, maybe a pull down menu or something. I wrote a program. I wrote a pull down menu that's SEO friendly because it uses actual URLs. But what I need is I need links leading to these articles. Make it easier for the search engines, including Google, to spider. Okay, now one kind of cool thing is when I want to click on Start Reading, it asks me if I want to log in and stuff like that, which is great. You might want to have some articles that are already open to the public. A lot of people don't want to provide their email addresses just to see whether or not they want to do something or not. Having them open to the public gives you a much better chance of having them indexed. Make sure you're using Google Search Console, and even though it really technically doesn't help that much with websites that aren't doing well with their SEO, then also go ahead and submit a sitemap. It absolutely doesn't hurt. By the way, I don't know if you're hearing all this noise in the background. That's my nephew. I think he's off work today, and I used to have a lot quieter place, and then we moved, so I apologize for any background noise. All right, something else. Now, this is your source file. So you've got Starlit Journals, Write and Discover Digital Journals and Stories. That's a great title. I like that. And here you have anonymous stories and ideas. So what? What do I do with those? Oh, okay, now I see. A place to read, write, and share. Come on, this where'd it go? This right here is a really good idea for an H1 header. Write and discover digital journals and stories. Also, if it's free, and so far it seems to be, I would put, you need to get the word free in there. Also, some additional keywords need to be mentioned throughout, either on separate pages or sometimes in the same page, like words such as submit and post. And like I mentioned, get the word free in there. And as much as possible, they need to be in H tags. Okay, now this is all internal. And this is great. Now, for some reason, when I put my mouse over here, and this is not a big deal, but when I put my mouse over here and then go to our story, that seems to be the same title tag. That's what Google sees. So if you want something that says about Starlit Journals, then it should say about Starlit Journals in the title tag. Okay, so very important. Title tags are what show up in Google. That is your first sales pitch. Okay, if you didn't read my articles on basic sales techniques, read them. Okay, I even got a video on it so you can play it while you're doing other stuff. But read every single article I have on basic sales techniques, including the ones on leverage and the ones on basic SEO and sales mistakes. Read those. That's your homework. I'm a dual certified teacher. Okay, so we talked about this. Okay, we talked about the source code. Now, if I put this whole thing in quotes, that's telling Google search that I want this entire string. And I press enter. And I don't have any results. Oh, wait, here we go. No results for Starlit Journal, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but here it is. Here's your website here. Now, let me show you something. If I do the same thing, by the way, nice linking right here. Good internal linking. If I do this, anonymous stories and ideas. Now, first off, I'm not sure if I ended up on the same page because what it says in Google, it doesn't say that here. So let's be aware of that. So if I do this, and let's say, there we go. And let me put that in quotes. Now that's an H1 tag, right? So that should show up. And our search did not match any documents. Okay, so get that same thing in your index page that you have in your title tag. You don't need Starlit Journals first. People don't care about Starlit Journals, at least for right now. But you can have something like write and discover digital journals and stories free with Starlit Journals. Okay, and if you're counting characters, 60 characters, whatever, quit worrying about that. Okay, Google may not show after 60 characters, but anything that you put in there after 60 characters still helps with SEO. So keep that in mind. Okay, SEO, you probably know, stands for search engine optimization. But that's on page, those are the things I want you to start with. Okay, remember, everything is a sales pitch. Okay, even if it's free, it's still a sales pitch. Okay, so anonymous stories and ideas, a place to read, write, and share authentic experiences without revealing who you are. I think that's great stuff. But like I said, this didn't show up in the search engine at all. Now, let's do a little linking trick. Okay, I showed you this. Now, if I take this same thing, we got site colon and then your URL. If I take and put that in quotations, like you saw me do before, Google will teach or will treat your URL like a string instead. So here we go. Okay, so that's great. We got all this. Here's everything indexed by you. I see you're on Instagram. Good. Keep working on social media. But this is it. I see Starlit Journals, privacy policy. Good. But I'm not seeing any other social media. No, social media doesn't help with SEO. But who cares? Get the traffic in. Okay, we've got some omitted search results. We can click on that. Most people will not click on that, by the way. Okay, now, you saw this, right? Let's compare that to busybusinesspromotions.com. I probably shouldn't be doing this, by the way. Okay, and here's my website. Okay, and here's some of the things I want you to read, by the way. Okay, here I am on X, formerly Twitter, Pinterest, MapQuest, YouTube. Why aren't you on the second largest search engine in the world, which is YouTube? Get yourself on there. Okay, Threads tends to pick up really quickly on Google, so get yourself on Threads. Make profiles for all of these social medias. Some people will tell you just concentrate on 2 or 3 different social medias. I'm telling you, make profiles for every social media you possibly can. Here I am on Substack. Okay, use Substack. Substack is great. It's free. It's a place where people can post their articles, so they already have an interest in posting articles. There I am on LinkedIn. Not sure what I did there. And still more YouTube. There I am on Daily Motion. Believe it or not, there is life after YouTube, and Google picks it up. So Daily Motion is one of those very old video sharing sites. YouTube, Blue Sky gets picked up really quickly by Google. And let me go next here. I know I'm showing my stuff, but this gives you an idea of what should be going on. There's Facebook, of course. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. Now, here's Reddit. Now, fix your Reddit profile. I didn't even see a link to your website in your profile. I know it's not live, but at least get it in there. And now you've seen my profile, Busy Business Promos, right? Pretty obvious what I do. Okay, so if this is the only thing that you do, and you don't have too much, how do I want to say it? If you don't have too much that you've already done with your present profile, get in there and change your profile. Even if you have to start again, change your profile to what you do. Make your username and your profile do the selling. I noticed that you had a lot of posts removed. Okay, nobody's ever removed my posts because of my username or my profile. It's never happened. Okay, there I am on Article Biz. Article Biz is okay. I made a comment on Search Engine Roundtable using my username, which happens to be busybusinesspromotions.com. How about that? Okay, there's some other websites. Okay, here's some posts on Reddit where I actually helped. Okay, so if you're helping and you need to post something, that's acceptable in quite a few Reddits. But if you're just promoting, people know that. And Reddit is the worst at people not liking promotions. That's it. That's 3 pages, and this goes on. So I need you to get yourself busy on social media. And once again, social media does not help with SEO. But once again, you've seen it in the search results. Okay? So who cares? You know, all the pure SEO people say social media doesn't count toward SEO. And I do that too. You know, if someone's talking about pure, SEO, I say social media doesn't count toward SEO. But I always add, so what? If it brings traffic to the website, then get on social media. Okay. So I mentioned that I want you to start working on more keywords for submit and post. Use the word free. I want you to get the word free inside of your title tag so Google will see that too. And like I said, and I'm kind of a stickler with this, but you don't have to be. But I think what's in your title tag should also be in your H1 tag. And once again, I want to remind you, I think you need to open up the posts so that people can read them without joining. Because right now I'm saying, oh, cool, some stories. I want to read some stories. Oh shoot, I have to log in. Okay, I'll go to Medium, or I'll go to Bob's Article Shop, or I'll go to Substack, where I don't have to sign in to read stuff. Okay, so think about changing that. I know that might reduce your email list a little bit, and like I said, you could give people options like you've looked at, and I've seen this before too. You've looked at 10 posts without subscribing. You have 5 more to go, or you've looked at 3 posts already without subscribing. You have 2 more free ones left before you can subscribe for free and get the full benefit from starlitjournals.com. Okay, once again, sales pitch. Make it sales. Make it to their advantage to log in, to give you their email address. And I don't know how much I'm telling you here is making sense, but I think that's what I want you to work on for now. And just keep replaying this. Take some notes if you want to. Don't worry. Even though I'm a teacher and a tutor, I won't give you a test. But that's it. So feel free to email me with any questions that you might have, and best of luck to you.